So, welcome to another day on the book club. We hold this every Sunday.
Hello,
Hey,
everyone.
Chidi, you're welcome. All right, so I'm going to do my quick pitch here so you can come on. We've been going through chapter 2 for the last, this is the third week on chapter 2.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the first one we talked about choose satisfying work. We ran through all of that. We ended up at in a good leading last week, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to get to the slide I ended up. I think
Yeah.
this was about where I ended up last week. And let me quickly run that to close that up so you can come up and do the third part of this chapter 2. So we talked about the second purpose, and we said it's divided into 3 parts. Said the trinity of needs, right? To
Yeah.
do I find the work satisfying? Can I make good money out of it?
Money.
And does it provide useful service? Anything we do, these are 3 questions that are going to eat at us. Is do I find work satisfying? Is it something that makes me satisfied? Something inside of me connects to it, right? And sometimes it might not be, right? Because that also depends on the circumstance you are in. In a war situation, for instance, you do whatever. At the end of the day, you must be doing something, whether it's satisfying or not. You must be doing something. Like Oprah Winfrey would say, right? Do what you have to do till you do what you want to do. You must never be at a point in your life where you are not doing anything. Just be on the barrel. What will I do? What will I do? I mean, that's stupid. Life requires you to do something. Because if you don't do something, heaven cannot support you. You must be doing something. Whether you have already found something that is satisfying or you are still working there, do whatever your hand findeth to do and do it well on your journey to finding what will satisfy you, right? You also want to get a good reward, right? You don't want to work for the sake of working. It is righteous. It is right. It is a just thing to do something for money or reward. Sometimes that reward is physical. Sometimes it is metaphysical. But whatever you are doing must give you reward. Don't do it for the sake of doing it, right? Doing it for the sake of you doing it is wasting your life, because everything you give to do what you are doing is your life, right? Time is your life. It's a quantum of your blood, right? The blood you give to what you are doing. As you give the blood into what you're doing, that is your life. That is your life. I'm trying to cover everything so that Treasure can come and do the third part. But don't work for the sake of working. Either that you are paying you money, or you are getting something metaphysical. You are connecting to heaven. You are providing service that you know that God is showering blessing on you. But never do work for the sake of work. It's either you are getting benefit physically, maybe it's money, favor, whatever, or you are getting benefits metaphysically. You are satisfying your God. So you know that your God is saying, do this, right? It is righteous to get a reward. Anything otherwise is foolishness. I'm going to run up. So Favor will come and tell us about how to provide useful work. Just to close out on the any good living part. My time's up. But let me take some few seconds here. It says there is no best career. No, there's no best career. Every career is good. I've seen people read Yoruba and they became executive. Even me that read engineering. Right. I'm not executive, So there's no career that hits the button. Is whatever you find to do that your heart that you can do well. If you can do it well, it will take you to heavens. People don't achieve because they don't put their all into it. It's not the career.
Yeah.
It's not the name. It's you finding something that you can put your heart into, and it will take you to heaven. Right? It doesn't matter the name, right? And so that's pretty much it in terms of that. So I'm going to, all right. So you have to put the whole of your heart to it. So so talks about commitment to excellence and all of that, and climbing up. And key thing, as you work, like I said, in all I've said, you have to grow to be good at it and show it. So Treasure, this is where you start. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you so much. You're already firing me up because I was
Yes,
wondering
sir.
how I'm going to start.
It's a
So
body.
it's interesting, and I'm glad we're looking into this book. as a bit controversial as it can be, but then this is life. You have to draw life into where you are and who you are and what you're doing. And the truth is that many of us have lived our lives and suddenly we get to a point and we're like, what's the meaning of life? Some of us find it, some of us don't. And so far, so good. We've been told to grow up, smart up, and so on. And we've been encouraged to find our calling, our career. Like you said, it might be the same, might be different, but always there's a calling, there's a career. Like we've been told, the career gives you money. What do you do to make money so that you can live on this earth? Well, very well, but of course, sometimes you might think it's not enough. But whatever you have, make the most of it. You can't sit and be complaining. Or you find a calling somewhere that you serve people. So today we're looking into how do you provide that service? But I've found out that whether you are in the career or you're in the calling or you found two of them in one place, somehow you get to a point, you just have to find a way to bless the people around you or find people to bless. Because if not, you're going to be frustrated. That's the truth. You're going to end up not being happy. So what I'm saying is we will know examples of people who are at the top of their careers, like Aki mentioned. They might just have little in our minds, in our thoughts, but they've gotten to the top. There are people who say, no, I'm not going to be pushing out to make money. I'm not going to make money. But they say, oh, I'm going to find a calling to serve people. And then they end up not having money and they're miserable. Or they don't even know how to make money out of that, what they call, because there's no way this life talks about money. Yes, there are other rewards in life, but money somehow is the principal way we exchange, value, resources, and all that, and so on. So whether we start at finding a career or a call, somehow, one way or the other, two of them must be together. Or sometimes we find, so in each one of them, I've also learned, even reading here further, that you must serve, and not just serve, you must give useful service. And that's what we're going to delve into today. And service, actually, to a very great extent, is talking about leadership. It's talking about leadership. I know we think that a lot of us grow up coming into a point where we are made to believe that leadership means you are better than the next person or you're better than the people you're supposedly leading. No, not so. Like Jesus would say, in Mark chapter 9, if you must be great, if you must make that difference, Mark chapter 9, 34, Mark chapter 10, 44, you just have to serve. And the way up to leadership is serving people. Have you found your calling? Have you found your career? Have you grown up? Are you smart enough? And all that, are you putting in the work? Are you able to make decisions then, here and now? Whichever way it gets to a point, even if you have the whole world at your feet, you're able to have all the money, you're able to do all things. There's no way you're going to be happy if you're not serving the next person. I've said it, money is just one currency, one way of rewarding, one way you get a reward in life. There's favor, there's even prayer it's a currency. Even when you make a decision and you end up making the right decision, it's a reward. It gets to a point at work, you must lead, you must serve. When I say serve, I'm talking about leadership, because when you serve well, when you give useful service, you tend to see that people want to copy you. And that is why in this slide here, this first slide, it's saying, as a leader, you inspire by example. What does that mean? By the things you do. That means first, you must do work. Two, you must do it well. Whatever your hand finds to do, Solomon would say, the preacher would say, do it with all your might, with all your strength, with all that is within you, whatever you find to do. So even sometimes when you get to amongst thieves, amongst evil people, you see them doing good work in their mind. But the truth is that we're not just talking about just doing good work. We're also talking about choosing. Aki has mentioned it. You can't just sit and say, I can't find what to do. There's always something to do. But what I'm saying today, you must serve usefully. But for you to do that, you have to, be a good example. You have to do it well. Whatever you find to do well, because people are watching you. So you are leading wherever you are. I think that's what I'm trying to say. You are leading wherever you are. You might be small in your eyes. That's not the issue. You might be fantastically big. Whatever it is you are doing, whatever decision you're making, you are leading somebody. It might be your children. It might just be, the truth is, might just be the walls in your house. But bear in mind, somehow somebody's going to find out, because whoever you're becoming is who people you relate with will see. So you serve, you lead by inspiring others. That Millman is saying it is the only way. Albert Schweitzer says, when you influence others, example is not the main thing, it's the only thing. An example, what do we mean by example? Please, when we say example, it's not, oh, I'm going to talk, therefore let me behave this way. No, it's that thing you are doing here and now. That's the example you are. You are not something, suddenly they tell you, oh, you're going to preach tomorrow, then you will not sleep. You're looking for encyclopedia, you're looking for concordance, you're looking for so many other things. It is that thing, who you are, that is the example that you are. So from where we started from at the beginning, we're saying grow yourself, train yourself, if you must lead well, because to serve usefully means that you are leading. You are leading already. John Maxwell would say everything begins and ends, is the leadership. Everybody leads. In what way we are leading. So number one, we're saying if you must give useful service, inspire by example, and bear in mind is the only way you can lead. Be that servant leader. Whatever you are doing, you are leading. So serve. Jesus says the way up is down by serving. He himself gave the example, was an example. He led by example. There's nothing he's telling us to do that he's not doing. Matthew chapter 11, he says, come, learn of me. I'm lowly and meek. My burden is light. My yoke is easy. He's the best person to say, hey, this is the way, walk in it, because he led by example. Till tomorrow, he's still leading. Whatever he's telling you to do, the Bible says, hey, he went through all these things, yet without sin. That's how good he is. Please, can I have the next slide? Thank you, sir. So first, to give useful service, let's inspire the people. In short, inspire yourself, lead yourself, and inspire, yourself. We're also saying for you to have give useful service. We don't have so much time, so I'm going to really be running. Respond as quickly as possible. If you must give useful service, if your call or your career that you found, if you're growing up, you're smartening up, is going to help anybody, please, can we get up and go? I define long before I saw it, I had defined responsibility to mean the ability to respond. That ability. Of course, we go further to say the ability to respond properly. And here we're saying to respond quickly. And quickly does not mean in a hurry. Neither does quickly mean in a rush. Quickly does not mean haphazardly or anyway. It just means, hey, if there's a need to give useful service, do it now at the right time. Don't delay. Yes, it's true. Jesus delayed concerning Lazarus, but he could see. It's not like us, we are the ones learning. Yes, sometimes you might see there's a need for you to delay. Then that means you are sure that your response has a timing at a particular time. Then you have seen something. But please respond as quickly as possible. And not just to respond, as quickly as possible. When you get there, remember we're coming from somewhere. Don't just get there and do anything. No, there's nothing like anything if you must give useful service. Please give the best that you can. Okay, we're saying here that momentum is what differentiates the expert and successful and fella. Someone who is an expert, who is successful, momentum, that means, of course, in momentum, you're talking about moment now. In momentum, you are talking about good work, doing excellent work. We have looked at that in the past two weeks. Doing excellent work, giving it your all. You must be good at what you do, at what you do. So if you are good at it, give it, and it has to be useful to the person. So if you're going to give something to someone, the scriptures will say, if there's a certain sound of a trumpet to give us notice about something, let it be clear. Let it be clear. If you come to help me, if you come to give me service because you are leading, that's the leadership you can give at that moment. Can I understand what you're saying? Can you help me understand? Let it not be ambiguous. Let it not just be anything, but let there be, clarity. But of course, you can't be clear as a leader, as a servant in giving useful service if you yourself don't even understand what's happening. So for us to live truly, I'm saying that for me to live truly, to find this purpose, this second place of finding purpose, I have to give back. Bill Gates is very rich. Warren Buffett is excel. All of them, Mark Zuckerberg, the Bezos, check it. They have everyone that's extremely rich, not just in money, even in graces, even in ability to preach, to minister, even in the place of doing miracles, in the place of teaching. Somehow you have to find people to give back to, so communicate clearly, make it help us to understand. Don't be ambiguous. Lead us. Let's all lead one another in speech, in what we're doing. Let's be clear about what we're doing. At work, in what we call the call, that somehow we're saying money is not involved. But I personally believe that whatever you're doing, Aki just mentioned it, give it your all and find usefulness in the service. Okay, the